Aubrey Sloan rubbed the ache from her feet as she leaned against the counter of the cafe, watching the clock inch toward closing time. It was nearly 10 p.m., and she'd been on her feet since her 9 a.m. econ class. Her shirt smelled like syrup, her tips barely covered her Uber ride, and she still had 3 assignments due before midnight. She was tired in the way that crept into her bones and didn't leave even after sleep. College life was not what she thought it would be. Her scholarship covered tuition, but barely. Rent drained her part-time paycheck. Groceries, books, bills, and all the little costs of being young and trying to look like she had it together. It was too much. Her mom back home in Indiana did what she could, but Aubrey had stopped asking for help months ago. The last time she tried, her mother had said, "I'm proud of how hard you're working." The words echoed like a curse. When Aubrey got home that night, she sank into bed next to her roommate Lana, who was lounging in silk shorts and editing Instagram reels of their girls' night at a rooftop bar 2 weeks ago. "God, I'm so broke," Aubrey muttered, throwing her apron onto the floor. "You should do what I do," Lana said, barely looking up. "Let old men pay for your existence." Aubrey let out a dry laugh. "I'm not trying to be an escort." "It's not escorting," Lana said casually. "It's digital. They don't even see you. You don't even have to show your face half the time." Aubrey rolled her eyes but paused. "You ever wonder how all these girls we follow live like that?" Lana asked, scrolling through a feed of candlelit dinners in Dubai, weekend getaways in Cabo, Balenciaga, sneakers on dorm floors. Aubrey already knew the answer. They weren't getting that from serving espresso and taking psych notes. "They call it FinDom," Lana continued. "Financial domination. Guys literally beg to be used. I made $600 today by calling someone a pathetic pig. He thanked me." Aubrey turned her face into the pillow and groaned. "You're joking." "I'm not. Look." Lana opened her Cash App. The balance stared back in bright green, $1,832. Aubrey blinked. That was more than she made in a month of double shifts and crying in walk-in coolers. The next morning, after barely 4 hours of sleep and an email from her landlord about late fees, Aubrey sat in the campus library and created a burner email account. She wasn't sure what she was doing, but she was sure she was tired of watching other girls post from yachts while she could barely afford to refill her bus card. She created a profile on a sugar baby site. A week later, she graduated to a FinDom community on Twitter. Her handle was simple, bold, @Miss Sloan. She didn't use her photo, just her legs in heels. A quote, "Your wallet is mine, pay for the privilege." It felt ridiculous, until the first man messaged her. Cash Creature 77, that was his handle. His message was simple, "Please allow me to send you money. It would mean everything to me." She laughed, at first, then she gave him her Cash App. 2 minutes later, she got a notification, $200 received. Memo, for simply existing. She stared at the screen. Her hands were still sticky from coffee syrup. Aubrey didn't remember when she stopped feeling guilty about it. The first time, yes, when she saw that $200 hit her account for doing absolutely nothing, her stomach tightened. It felt wrong. Or maybe it just felt new. But by the third time Cash Creature 77 sent her money, $500 this time, just because she posted a photo of her feet in new heels, the guilt started to wear off. In its place came curiosity, then power. She never gave him her real name. She was always Miss Sloan, always a little cold, a little mean. She leaned into the tone Lana had taught her, dismissive, disinterested, untouchable. "You're pathetic. Send me more or be ignored." He always obeyed. He lived in some nowhere town in the Midwest, she guessed. He never gave details, only called himself a worthless servant who had been watching her for weeks, maybe months, waiting for her to open an account. He claimed it was fate. Aubrey rolled her eyes at the drama of it all, but when he sent another $1,000 for a single voice message, "You're disgusting, and I love using you," she stopped questioning it. Meanwhile, her life changed fast. She didn't need to ask her boss for extra shifts anymore. She bought groceries without counting items. She got her nails done for the first time in a year and booked a weekend Airbnb for herself, just to study in peace. Her closet started filling with clothes that didn't come from discount bins. No more hiding price tags, no more skipping dinner. All from one man, and she hadn't even met him. But behind the screen, Cash Creature 77 was changing. His messages grew longer, stranger. I dream about you every night. Do you think about me? What if I showed up where you live and begged at your feet? I'd ruin my whole life just to see you laugh at me in person. At first, Aubrey laughed them off. He's role-playing, she told herself. This is the fetish. But Lana frowned one day after reading over her shoulder. He's getting attached, she said. That's not good. He's obsessed with the fantasy, Aubrey replied. That's the point. No, Lana said. He's obsessed with you. Aubrey didn't block him. Instead, she distanced herself. Fewer replies, slower responses. She posted less, sent shorter messages, raised her prices when she did respond. He still sent money, more even, like he was trying to buy his way back into her orbit. Then one night, he sent a message that didn't sound like the others. Why are you ignoring me after everything I've given you? Another followed. You made me think I mattered. Then, you're just like the rest. You think you're better than me. The last message came with a payment, $5,000. And a final note, just say one word to me, please, anything. Aubrey stared at the screen, then she turned off her phone. She didn't know that he had already found her Instagram. She didn't know that he had reversed a photo she posted at a campus coffee shop and found the name of the cafe on the cup. She didn't know he was already on his way. The air felt heavier than usual in the cafe that afternoon. Aubrey stood behind the counter, half listening as a coworker took orders. She stared down at the screen of her phone, scrolling through TikTok videos on mute. Usually the rhythmic comfort of daily distractions calmed her, but today something gnawed at her chest. Her inbox had been silent for the last 48 hours. No messages, no payments, nothing from Cash Creature 77, not even a threat, not even a whisper. And that scared her more than the flood of desperate messages from before. It wasn't like she missed him. She didn't. She had been relieved at first, thought maybe he finally snapped out of it and moved on to someone else. But then she opened Instagram and noticed a new profile had liked every single one of her posts, dating back over a year. The handle was unfamiliar. No photo, no followers, just a single post, a quote in black and white text. Everything you take will eventually cost you something. She froze. The coffee cup in her hand trembled slightly before she set it down. She didn't show Lana. Not yet. She didn't want to look paranoid. Maybe it was nothing. But when she stepped outside during her 10-minute break and spotted a man sitting across the street in a beat-up sedan, staring, just staring, she felt it. Something had shifted. That night, in the apartment, she double-checked that the front door was locked. She told Lana she wasn't feeling well and retreated to her room. Her fingers hovered over her phone, debating whether to block him or message him. She didn't do either. She just opened their chat history and reread the last few exchanges. The silence screamed louder than the money ever had. The next morning, she found a note slipped under the front door. No envelope, no name, just one sentence scribbled in thin, tight handwriting. You can ignore me online, but you still live somewhere. She dropped the note like it burned her. Panic set in. This wasn't a game anymore. This wasn't just digital. He had crossed the line from fantasy to flesh. And now he was here, somewhere, watching. The campus felt different now. Every corner Aubrey turned felt like a setup. Every pair of eyes in passing could be his. She didn't know what he looked like, but she imagined everything. Bald, bearded, average, forgettable. He could be anyone. She stopped posting. She set all her accounts to private. She deleted her burner handles. She even unlisted her personal number. But none of it mattered, because someone had already crossed the line. The second note came 2 days later. It was taped to the inside of the elevator in her apartment building. You lied to me. Now I'll take what I'm owed. She didn't scream. She couldn't. She just sank to the floor, legs folded under her, heart thudding so loudly she couldn't hear the hum of the elevator anymore. Lana convinced her to go to the police. They filed a report. A detective with tired eyes and too many cases took her statement. He nodded politely, told her to stay alert, and gave her a case number. No follow-up, no patrols. Online stuff like this, he said, is hard to trace unless they actually do something. Aubrey stared at him. So I have to wait until he puts his hands on me? That night, she stayed at Lana's boyfriend's apartment. She couldn't sleep. She kept checking the front door, the windows, her phone. The burner account was gone, but she reactivated it just to check. He'd sent her one last message before she deactivated. If I can't have you, then no one will. You don't deserve to be worshipped. You deserve to be ended. She tried to show the message to the police, but the account was deleted. No sender, no record. Nothing to hold on to, just her fear. She returned home 4 days later. It was quiet, too quiet. Lana had gone out with friends. The apartment was dark and still. Aubrey locked the door, pulled the chain, and slid a chair under the handle, just in case. She went into her room, set her bag down. The closet door was open. She was sure she had closed it. She froze. The hair on the back of her neck lifted. She turned slowly. And he was there. A figure stepped out from behind the bedroom door. Not large, not masked, just ordinary. He looked like no one special, like a man who blended into a crowd. His eyes were sunken, mouth twisted in something between pain and pleasure. "You stopped talking to me," he said. Aubrey backed up, her breath hitching. "How did you—" "You used me," he snarled. "I gave you everything. You made me think I mattered." He stepped forward. She ran for the door, but he was faster. He slammed it shut and threw her to the floor. "You were supposed to love me," he whispered as he pressed the weight of his obsession into her ribs. "You were supposed to be mine." The neighbors heard the screaming, but by the time anyone got to the apartment, the door had been kicked in and Lana was the one who found her, motionless, limp, blood pooling under her head. He was gone. Police called it a break-in gone wrong, but Lana knew better. She saw the notes. She knew the account. She knew what Aubrey never really believed until it was too late. Fantasy has limits, but obsession doesn't. The end.